Hello everyone, and today is Monday, and I want to welcome you to the class. I want to talk with you today because we are going to do something a little different today. Um, we're going to do basically learning about Cubism and what that consists of. Cubism is a process where you basically use geometric shapes to create works of art. And it's really interesting once you do that, you can kind of see the face looks sort of distorted. And it's really interesting to see how you can create a composition using lines, but he did it where he used geometric shapes. So it's really interesting to see how you're going to be able to complete this project using geometric shapes, making sure that you turn your face at different angles. The nose might not be straight, looking straight ahead. It might be turned to the side. Those are some things to think about. And I'm going to kind of show you a picture kind of similar to what you all are going to be doing. Let's see here. I'm adding this image. So Cubism is really interesting. It looks kind of weird. The faces don't look what you're really used to seeing. So this is what we're kind of going to be focusing on for this project. Doing a piece similar to Picasso. See how the eyes turn this way? Look at the nose. It's like a front view and then it's a side view, kind of abstract looking, using sharp lines and geometric shapes. So you're going to do this with marker, Sharpie, and if you need to use color pencil, you can. But that's pretty much how you will get this accomplished. I'm going to share my screen with you now, so you can kind of see this project. So look at that, cool. Excuse me. So now let's look at this. You're going to Cubism is a new approach that happened around the 1900s, and it was started by Pablo Picasso and George Baroque. They had very variable subject matters. It could be anything, objects or anything, but you're only going to focus on doing the face. It results in paintings that appear fragmented and abstracted. So when you have your quiz this week on Wednesday, make sure you know what Cubism is. This is a design by Pablo Picasso. And you see the different angles of the face, how to use Sharpie and black line. Well, actually, I'm gonna give you your quiz today. So it's similar how we did the Impressionism piece, and I asked you some questions. You're gonna do the same thing today with the learning about Pablo Picasso and just answering those questions. So you're gonna upload those questions today for your quiz. So you know now that Cubism is an approach that originated in the 1900s by Pablo Picasso and George Baroque, and it results in pictures that are fragmented and abstracted. Okay, so that's exactly the definition. So you see how you kind of draw the picture, and you see he sliced this picture up and changed the color every time. So that's an option. You do need to have really thick lines, really thick bold lines that you see here, really thick black lines. So you make sure that you use that in your composition. You'll see that here. Really need a Sharpie for this to get these lines dark, okay? So it's best to use marker for this or paint, however you want to do it. I'm gonna show you a video now on Cubism so you can kind of get an idea what it is. And today I upload the quiz that I'm gonna give you about Cubism, okay? Any questions? Okay, all right, here we go.
Groundbreaking and revolutionary art movements. But what exactly is Cubist art, and who were the Cubists? The two most pivotal artists referred to as the inventors of Cubism are France's Georges Braque and Spain's Pablo Picasso. Back in the early 1900s, these two pioneers started to represent and depict their subject matter from multiple angles and viewpoints at the same time rather than from a single fixed position, which had been the norm prior to that. Despite the name of the iconic movement, neither Braque or Picasso ever painted cubes. The term itself actually originated from a derogatory remark made by an art critic in 1908. The critic had disparaged Braque by saying the artist reduced everything to geometric schemas, to cubes. The term soon became widespread. Cubism was born. Cubist techniques were evident throughout all of Picasso's work at this time. Tete, for instance, is one of his most celebrated artworks and the most abstract of all of his Cubist collages. The half circle drawn in charcoal depicts the profile of a head. The small circle and diagonal line with the arc represent an eye and nose. The pasted on elements represent the face, hair and neck. Within a few years, both Braque and Picasso began to incorporate letters into their Cubist works. Braque's Le Bougeoir, meaning the candlestick, from 1911, is a very early example of one of his paintings to include lettering. The purpose of this lettering was to question the relationship between words, pictures, and the objects they represent. Towards the top of the painting is a candle, which helps to identify the shape below as a candlestick. A simple clay pipe, the kind Braque smoked, lies to the centre right, and below that are a bobbin and a pair of scissors. Within a few years, a small group of artists based in Paris, including Fernand Léger, Robert Delaunay and Sonia Delaunay, were following the lead of Braque and Picasso's abstract art. They wanted to emphasise the point that a painting is a flat surface, while the things they represented were three-dimensional. So instead of choosing a fixed perspective and presenting views as if seen through a window, they painted motifs as if seen from several different angles at once. The Cubist style quickly spread across Europe and America, with particular popularity burgeoning in Russia, where the style corresponded and chimed with newly forming revolutionary ideals. In Scotland, the work of artists like William Crosey also displayed a strong affinity with Cubism, as can be seen in this painting of Edinburgh from the late 1920s. Cubism soon splintered and morphed into various different styles across numerous different countries. The Italians had Futurism, the British had Vorticism, the Russians had Suprematism and Constructivism. It also inspired and influenced movements around the world in different creative disciplines, such as architecture, music and literature. Given the far-reaching impact of the movement and its many exciting and important offshoots, the case can easily be made for Cubism as being the most radical and influential art movement of the 20th century. The Cubists constructed new realities, moving away from traditional ideas of representation, leading to abstraction.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen with you guys. So that's pretty much what you are going to be doing today. Worksheet I'm going to give you is a quiz, and start sketching out your design of your face. Start sketching out of your design of your face of what you want to do for this project in the quiz as well. All right, thank you.